health care. I remember one day on the floor we had the budget bill out there, and Chuck had done his job and cut out some of the surplus that was in it. So there was a number of amendments being offered to add this to it, add these people, and people were crying about we have to help these people. Finally, after about an hour, Chuck got his attention. He stood up and he says, "I've listened about all this I can." So for the next 15 minutes, which that's all longer we're allowed to talk, he proceeded to chew people out for their attitudes on the other side. You know how people kind of shrink down in the seat when they've been scolded? That's what they were doing over there. So he does look out for the dollars. He knows where it is. He's got the basic understanding of growing up that we need to have. Another thing was, about 3 years ago, our federal government passed a law that every farmer and anybody that have animals is going to have electronic tag put in there, animal identification. Whether you had dogs or cats or chickens, and as an intrusion of the federal government, they were saying it had to be on the fact that for disease outbreak we had to know where these animals were and how many you had, and you also had to keep a log book of them in case you moved them. Thanks to Senator Ferguson here, and I worked with him on the House side, he stood his ground. There was a lot of people trying to kill it, but he had some leverage over there since he's on the oversight committee. When certain bills came through, we're able to get that passed and protect the farmers from having to go through this and all other animal lovers from this burden. As you know, 3 years ago, I started working on another bill that our federal government passed that required everybody to carry a national ID card and show it every time you have to go into a federal building or get on an aircraft and put all your personal information into a central data file. I was able to get it through, passed through the House, but Chuck was the one that carried it for me over on the Senate and stood the ground. He believes in those basic rights. He believes in the 10th Amendment, which is a violation of it. So he believes in the Constitution, he said earlier. And I don't think we could ask for a better man to represent us in Washington, D.C., and maybe he'll be the Scott Brown of Missouri.